Howdy, Lamthusiast here, and this is the LEGO Creator Blue Power Jet, set number 31039. This set includes 608 pieces, including an orange brick separator and a glue-bound instruction manual with all three instructions for all three builds. This is build number 1. It's a jet. It has an overall length of 15 inches and a wingspan of 12 inches. Let's start with the front. Here you have this nice tapered nose. This slope piece that comes into the engine inlets that are on either side. I like the shaping of those. The cockpit opens up like so. And inside you have two seats, which you can fit minifigs in. I like the shapes of these headrests. Now in the front, you have these consoles on either side. They're exactly the same. The yoke right there, and then this display right there. In the second part, you have these other two consoles. That just closes like so. Then you have this red and white stripe that goes from the wings to the body and all the way to the other wing. I like these vents put in here. You can see that hinge right there. What that is, a door that opens, two separate ones, revealing engine detail. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Especially those printed vents. You get two of those. Inside, that's about it for that. Closes up pretty easily. Then you have a transition to gray back here to the engine, which I'll show you that right now. That big red disc right there that kind of shows the fire coming out or whatnot. Now you have these two flaps, one on either side on the wings. You can position those anywhere you want, really. Then these back area wings, they're flaps that can move. These wings right here, they are static. They cannot move. They can't be positioned anywhere. I like this white line right there. Then on the bottom, nothing too special except for the fact that it has retractable landing gear. Folds away real nicely. It is pretty flat on the bottom, but it still looks good. I still like it, especially the fact that they have retractable landing gear. I think that's great. I like this build. This is pretty nice. On to build number 2, huh? Alright, this is build number 2. You got a pointed nose at the front. I like the white nose on this. The cockpit does open. You have one seat and then a console piece down there. You have some air intake for the engines up here using these vents. Then you have the exhaust that sticks out on an angle that's symmetrical on each side. The main propeller itself is really big, really long. I think that's great. It's a perfect size for it. I like the tips of the propeller too, have that rounded edge to them. That's the same on each side. They're a little different, but they're basically the same. These little wings that jut out, you have these flaps that can move, so you can bend those any way you want. The overall build is symmetrical besides the tail on the back. You can see the tail, the back part of the tail is towards the left on the back, and the propeller is on the left side. Speaking of the propeller, this rear propeller, it's a decent size. I like it. It spins well. Really thin, which is good. I think they did that really well. The tail, I love the shaping they did with the tail, how it goes up, then out, then up again. This is all a few plates with these smoothed slope pieces on top, and they're just stuck on the side, so you can kind of see that from underneath. It does have a yellow plate visible on the bottom. I don't really like that too much, but what I do like is, just like the first build, this does have retractable landing gear, so you can fold that away, and you can almost not even see it. You can kind of see the rear wheels right there, but really you can't see it. I think that's great. It's a little harder to get them out. You got to use your pinky, but that's just because they're tucked away so nice. So overall, I think this is a great build. It went together nicely. I don't know what else to say other than it's pretty good, you know? Alright, this is the last build. It's the smallest. You got a red light on this side, green light on that side. There's a nice taper to the front. You can kind of see it like that. I think that came out pretty well. Now you have two windscreens at the driving compartment. Those open up forward. and you have these little seats in there. And on the driver's side, you have one console and a yoke. You have a little tinier console in the middle. Then on the passenger side, you have another one of those little seats and this vent here. I don't know really what that's supposed to be for, but you know, it's detail. These windscreens close. On the underneath, kind of on the sides, you have this shaping down there. It's hollow on the bottom, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to be laying down like this most of the time. You have another one of those vents up here. On the back, you have the main engine. It can spin like that. And you have this kind of, I don't really know what to call this thing, like a spoiler type deal. You can move that forward or back. It's supposed to stay like that. I like the shaping of that. I think that looks pretty good from both angles. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for the last build for this whole set, really. Thanks for watching.